This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news and intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversations. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty, hosted by Earl the Pearl. On Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
Talking Heads with Naughty and MJ is brought to you by Burger King, Fine Threads, John's Department Store, KFC, Naughty Johnny's, NRG Nutrition, and Printmasters.
Hey, 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 Bahama Rock. Everybody's out there on the dock.
Good afternoon, good day, happy Thursday. This is Guardian Radio 96.9 and this 96.9, and this is a Talking Heads Thursday. Yes, this is your boy Pearly. I'm in the house. So good to be back here with you guys. Boy, it's wet outside, so please be careful on those roads today. The roads are very wet. It's raining, and you know what I mean. Cold front coming. But we're here. We're warm. We need to do some talking, and this is how I need you to become Talking Heads.
Here's how you can become a Talking Head. Brought to you by BTC.
Very simple. You pick up your phone and you dial 323-6232. That's 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4316, or 325-4259, 325-425, 300-5720. That's 242-300-5720. And if you just want text, that's fine with me. That's great. It's powered by BTC, 422-4796. That's 422-4796. Let's talk. Let's chat it up. Let's become Talking Heads and see what's going on. Great. Boy, what's going on in the headlines today? Some interesting stuff been happening.
It's time for Headliners. Everything that's making headlines in the 242. Brought to you by the Fine Threads.
In the front page of the National Guardian, disgraceful. Bishop Boyd questions sentencing disparity between poor blacks and well-connected whites and blacks. House approves the boundaries report. AG pushes back against Boyd's comments and strides in clearing judgment backlog. Over in the business section, Widener, e-probate system operational by end of Q1. The platform will harness the power of artificial intelligence, allowing users to track the progress of their applications. Bahamas Bar Association president outlines transformative impact on legal professions bill. Economist, the Bahamas must lean more on data as global tension grows. And Turner Jones, the Bahamas missing out on ease of doing business, low-hanging fruit. That's interesting. That is very interesting. Are we? You know, let me read this text real quick before we get into the conversation. Good day, Pearly. I'm still disturbed from those children being used as campaigners. I hope heads will roll. You know, I was going to bring that up, and I saw the argument put forward by others saying, oh, it's majority rule, it's a play on majority rule. I never hear a rule came. I might have been a little boy, but I never hear say they scared someone. I thought that was a John Canoe thing that came up in the 90s or 80s, but I never heard that. So Pearly's personal view on that, I would have not done that. I thought that was not fair to the kids. That was not fair to people who may support the PLP or may not support the PLP, or who support the FNM or anybody else or may not. And I think we need to understand that majority rule is just not a PLP thing. That who's the government in power. But the founding members of the Free National Movement were all a part of that. Sir Cecil, Sir Arthur, Maurice Moore, others like Jeffrey Thompson, Curtis Macmillan, all these men were part of the Progressive Liberal Party when majority rule came into effect. And majority rule was a movement that pushed by Labour, Sir Randall Fox and others as well, So I think it's unfair that a party will take ownership of something because they the one who won the government at the time. But the same people who came to majority rule are not the same ones who are running the government right now. And a lot of them have passed on, but many of the PLPs and the Free PLP or the Free National Movement founding members who are part of majority rule. So we need to be careful on how we try to take ownership of things, and we don't carry the narrative correctly, and we misquote history, and that's not going to be fair to plenty of people as we go on. What do you think about what the bishop said yesterday, what Archbishop Boyd said? And when you look at it, and when you see some cases that happen, and some people who can't get the breaks, like some of the kids that I dance down, who because they don't have the money for a lawyer, they don't get, or they can't pay and fight for cases that they're involved in, that they get, like we say, lost in jail or gone to jail without no bail. And the ones who have the money, and this is nothing that just started. I think some things that happened recently, like the gentleman that was found, the boater that was found with all them guns, and they couldn't take the boat because they get a lien on it. Is that right? Is that right? Are we doing the right thing? Are we sending the right message? If you're poor, you go to jail. If you get money, you can stay out. And be honest with you, and to be very honest with you, I may think the Archbishop was a bit harsh, but you got to agree with him. It's not a funny thing. It's a serious thing when a poor Bahamian man or woman get themselves in trouble, and everybody's entitled to due process. I don't care if you're guilty, if you perceive guilt, everybody is innocent until proven guilty. Everybody's entitled to due process, and we got to do it the right way. And I hate to talk with the Americans. They say if you don't have a lawyer, one will be provided for you, and when they give you a caution or they read you your rights. Oh, they call it Miranda rights, I think they call it, if I'm correct. And many times in this country, if you ain't got it, or if you don't know the right people, you go to jail. And if you know the right people, because there are instances where some people got arrested, came to court, had to spend days in jail because they had to wait for family members first of all, to get a bail hearing, then they had to wait for family members to find the funds. When you get some prominent people get arrested, sit in one chair, stay home because they have the means, the lawyers, to push their bail hearing from 9 o'clock that morning, by 3 o'clock that afternoon, they home. Is the system working? Is that fair? Let me read a couple of texts here. Pearlie, the bishop made plenty sense. I don't care what the AG said, the bishop is right. Hey, Pearlie, it's 2026 and it's going on 4.5 years on the Adrian Gibson case. Interesting. That's true. That's true. It's been that long. It's been over. Why is that taking forever and ever? And you see some things that have been happening with that case. The bishop is being a real Bahamian. More of us need to speak out when we see lawmakers and keepers of the law doing wrong. Let them know. But there's a Pearlie, you were too small to realize, but you sure you never hear Sir Arthur folks yell out, "Oh, they scared this." I never hear that. I never hear that. And I'm going to ask Arthur too when I talk to him. I'm going to ask him about that. Pearlie, this is Sparky from Chipping Arm. I sent you a picture via text. Okay, Sparky. I will look at it. So it's Sparky from Chipping Arm. I have always said, I didn't hear it, from I was a little boy, 9 years old, and I know majority rule happened a couple of years before I was 9 years old. But one of the things that happened in my house is it was only one day out of the week that we sat down as a family to have dinner because my mom worked shift, my dad was a hotelier. So we worked, and I'm a politician. We had dinner every Sunday at 5 or 6. Every Sunday. That was family dinner. But it was just not dinner. It was an education on Chipping Arm, on the PLP and politics in the country, on the Catholic Church, and of course he preached in Augustine Stars. And so when things happen as a 9, as a 10, 11, 12, 13-year-old, my dad told us things that were happening. I was a little boy sitting on his shoulder when the mace was thrown out of the House of Assembly. I don't remember that, but he told me I was there and I was on his shoulder. I vaguely have these vague visions of being out there in that crowd. But I couldn't tell you what happened then. But as we sat down, he would tell us about majority rule. He would tell us about Sir Lyndon and Sir Cecil and politics and things that he did and reasons why he left the PLP and stuff like that. We had an education. He would tell us about the history of the Catholic Church in the Bahamas, about St. Peter and Paul, which is right in Chipping Arm, and about how we went to St. Augustine's from 8 in the morning to 8 at night. That's how school was for them. And he rode his bicycle to school every day and rode home in the night, every night at 8 p.m. And he told us, and he was a devout and staunch Catholic. And it's up to him. The nuns would still be bearing abbots and the mass would still be in Latin. But these were times that I cherished sitting with my dad on a Sunday to learn these things. So when I talk about majority rule in politics, but I had a good teacher. I had a really good teacher. Pearlie, on the side note, majority rules are not for white people, it's for black people. It's for Bahamians. And it's to celebrate that the majority of Bahamians who are black, yes, we're able to rule, but that don't mean that whites don't have a part of it. Because white people had a part of helping majority rule come true. And if you know your history, some people say they wasn't white, but there were two Conkey Joe men that helped form the PLP. And there were white Bahamians who were involved in that, as there are white Bahamians in both parties. So when we try to picture that only one party had white people, no, let's be real. Let's be, like y'all said, let's be real. Hey, Pearlie, the former Police Staff Association president was just found guilty of drug trafficking in the magistrate court today. Yeah, I saw that. Good afternoon. I wonder if a legal expert could call in and explain how a magistrate could issue compound fines amounting to more than $1 million in the matter of weapons and ammunition. I thought they had maximum dollar limitations. Well, if they're doing what they're not supposed to do, it'll be overruled by the Supreme Court. Good day, Pearlie. The bishop was on, but the lawyers in the audience burst out laughing at the bishop, and it ain't long now. And the bishop, that's why the bishop called it, said it was disgraceful because they laughed about it, and he was offended by that. All right. And I don't know if they were laughing in mock of him. I don't think so. I think they were laughing like hey, that's. I don't think he was laughing in mock of him. But it is a situation in our country, and you know, we yourself are saying it ain't what you know, it's who you know. Who you can pick up the phone and call again. Who you can pick up the phone and get something done. Oh, I need this done quick. And who you know down there? Or call him. He can make it happen for you. So that same thing in the courts, I guess, what the bishop is trying to say, what Archbishop Boyd is trying to say, that you if you got money, if you got connections, you don't do the same thing that boy in Baintown does, or the boy in Grantstown, or the boy in Chipping Arm who got arrested. And I know but young men who got arrested and spent days. I know ones who got arrested and charged with certain things, and the voluntary bill of indictment sent them straight up and say, you come to court, and they were not able to get a bail hearing for days, months, weeks, months. Did I know some prominent Bahamians who got arrested, got charged for some things, and was home before dinner? Because they had enough money to hire the right lawyers or hire good lawyers, or whatever they had to do, and the lawyers are waiting right there. And as soon as they finish getting charged in the magistrate court, they go to the Supreme Court to get a bail hearing and get them out. I don't have a problem if you could get that done, but let everybody be able to get that done. Not because you got the money, you ain't got to do it. Pearlie, can Sparky please have your WhatsApp number? Okay, Sparky, I can send you my WhatsApp number, but right now I'm on the show. Okay, so just give me a few minutes, my brother, and I will get that to you. All right. But that, so I don't have a problem with the bishop says, but and one of the texts says the bishop is being a real man and was able to say things, and more Bahamians need to speak out. But some Bahamians scared to speak out because they're scared of that one word, victimization. Or said of that word, if you say something, if you talk, you get fired. And we have examples of that. I.e. immigration. We have examples of people who may have said something and they're in problems. The nurse. So when you see Bahamians are afraid to talk publicly because they're afraid that their livelihood will be interrupted. They're afraid that they will lose their jobs or they would whatever. And things tough in this country. Things tough. I don't buy the VAT thing. Come on, man. VAT on them things, most of them things was zero until you put it up to 10%. Then you bring it on to 5%, and then, so that to me is no accomplishment. You just putting back what the opposition was telling you put back and making noise about. But I hear Crazy Thompson and Michael Pindar making noise about. So I don't see that as a super great. Let me rephrase that. I don't see that as an accomplishment by our government. Yes, I see there's something good for the Bahamian people. But other things are going up. So when you go there and you spend on $150 every week in the grocery store, and so 10%. So let's say $15 come off. Just being all right, or $10 come off. Are you seeing that at the bottom line of that at the end of when the woman finished telling press total? Because other things going up. Like cleaning products and hand towels and napkins and bleach. Just using these things as examples. And I'm hearing that we may not see the effects of the zero VAT on April 1st because how I done pay VAT on something as a food store owner, I bring in some bacon. Let's use that as an example. I didn't pay VAT on that, but I still get on the shelf. Should I drop the VAT off that and lose? I'm just asking. I don't know. I don't know how it works. Somebody can help me figure out how it works. You know. It says here. What does it say? Anglican Bishop Lash White said, I ain't been to law school. You tell me how this could be, and I'm not laughing. By his own admission, he isn't trained in law. Given that, I don't think it's fair for him to opine on alleged injustices without knowing all the facts. Every fact. That's nonsense. Ryan Pindar should have told him to stick to religion. This is exactly why I don't like religious leaders weighing in on legal or political matters. Just as I don't like politicians venturing into religion. We need to stay in our lane. Is that fair to say? If he thinks he's saying something wrong, he just said, help me. If he sees something, he shut up because he's not a lawyer. So that means Pearlie can't talk about some things because I'm not a doctor, I'm not a lawyer, I'm not this, I'm not an accountant, an economist. So I can tell you, I think the economy is going going down the drain because I'm not that. I don't have a right to give my opinion. Victimization, that's a thing of the past. Some of us are afraid now to be whistleblowers because we're afraid of getting murdered. So that's a different story now. See, you taxi. Pretty, that VAT is political scheme to get the voters. If they win, it's back to 12%. Hey, Pearlie, a young man was sentenced to 1 year in prison for having one 9mm bullet last year, September. But F&M Senator John Bostwick was found, former F&M Senator, Bostwick was found guilty of having 10 to 9 bullets on him and was given a $15,000 fine instead of jail time. Pearlie, when is the election? Your government should cease 8 months from doing things like giving out contracts, giving out jobs, putting it all that on hold, making it law, giving out plates and other stuff. I think I heard them say that when they was in opposition before they won in 21. The bishop is Bahamian and has every right to give his opinion about how justice is being served in our country, and he's right. The bishop has his right. He's a Bahamian. He's a Bahamian, and he's a man first. Caller, you are on the air. How are you?
Good afternoon. How you doing?
I'm good, my brother. All is well?
Yes, all is well. Yes, I understand the bishop's position as relates to what we perceive as the end result in terms of judgment, right?
Uh-huh.
But if in our penal code, in our constitution, there are three situations we have. You can pay a fine, or you can do the time,
Yeah.
or you can time.
Yeah.
So if individuals have can meet, say the first one, which is just pay a fine, even though that may look bad to the rest of us who may not be in that position, I don't think we should castigate them if they have the means to do what the Constitution says.
Okay.
And I think while we see it the way Bishop Boyd might have said it, but again, if you have three different circumstances and I can meet the greater one, then why should I not just pay the fine? Why should I go spend time if I could pay the fine since there's a requirement that is in the Constitution and legal ramification? So why should I do the second one if I pay the fine?
On that type situation, I understand that, but where I have the problem is them not being able to get to the Supreme Court to get a bail hearing for weeks and months because they have that lawyer who could walk them out that same day and do it and one day and get them out, and they don't spend a minute in jail.
I agree with that position as well.
Okay.
And again, too, you again, in order to have that type of accessibility to the system, you have to be willing to pay the kind of money that needed to be paid in order to get those kind of preferential treatment. So again, if someone can meet those requirements and don't have to wait for the whole weekend to pass or whatever the case may be to meet the bail and all that stuff, then again, we should not knock that person who in that position to do that.
I hear your point.
Yes,
loud and clear. Appreciate that. Thank you, my brother. Thanks for calling. I do appreciate that. This is a Talking Heads Thursday here on Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM. This is your boy Pearlie in the house. We can take a quick break. When we be right back, we get to read to the rest of these texts. The rest of these texts we got here, and we got a call on the line. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Grill tastes better. Head to Burger King Nassau. You'll see our legendary Whopper with cheese is made with 100% flame grilled beef for that juicy and smoky barbecue flavor you love. Topped with fresh ingredients and nestled in an even fluffier bun. And right now, enjoy BK's Whopper with cheese combo with fries and a drink for just $9, including that. The King gives more food and more flavor for an unbeatable price. Taste the flame grill difference at any of Burger King's 7 locations in Nassau.
For fast, reliable, and impactful printing services, look no further. Let Printmasters bring your masterpiece to life. We stand by our quality products that is second to none. Our affordable pricing and friendly, efficient staff makes Printmasters the ultimate choice for all your printing needs. We can deliver any type of printing services, from banners to booklets to business cards. You name it, we can print it.
Let Printmasters.
Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty, hosted by Earl the Pearl. On Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
It's time for The Buzz. What are you buzzing on? Brought to you by John's Shoes.
All right, let's do it. I thought the love that we had was true. I thought I couldn't live without you. But then I found you was a junglist, causing me all kind of stress.
Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM. This is a Talking Heads Thursday with your boy Pearlie in the house. That song is cracking me up. It always cracks me up. Let's get right to the call line. Caller, on there. How you doing?
Hey, good day, Brady.
Hey, what's up?
Yeah, I chime in and I hear you saying about these people who are scared to speak so they don't be victimized and all the rest of that. You're in a junglist mood now. Huh?
I ain't answering that question. I get in trouble if I answer that question. I just can say no comment.
Yeah, when I call them, they ain't gotta be afraid to speak, or they're afraid to speak, or they just gotta know who to reach out to. Cause
Amen.
you can't let them take advantage here like they try to take advantage of me. Want to take property them and let the white man them want to take property from me, and I got my papers and I ain't playing with them, and I ain't playing with what they try to say. You know what I mean?
I know your situation. Yeah.
They breaking the law. I want to let them get away.
Yeah.
So if the people feel like they can be victimized by the human people, man, hey, reach out to me. You know what I mean? Dennis Battle, and I will put them in check and show you how to deal with them.
Amen.
Okay?
Okay, brother.
So don't be afraid to stand up. Because
Get up, stand up for your rights.
Stand up for your rights.
Okay.
Because we're Bahamian, and we ain't supposed to let nobody victimize us. Okay?
All right. I hear you, brother. Thanks for calling. Text. Using the rule of staying in your lane, then there would be few callers or texts to talk shows because none have expertise on a certification on that they call in. You're right. You're correct. That's the point I'm raising, Mr. Dexter. That's your opinion. All right? Hey, Pearly, great show. Pearly, that VAT removal came April. Ain't going to get no difference because the merchants are going to up their price on the groceries, so it's no relief. Okay, Sparky. I hear you, Sparky. Hey, Pearly, what happened to the lady at immigration? What happened to her as a whistleblower? Kudos to the bishop. Keep it up. Hey, Pearly, next text. Hey, Pearly, what month, and what year we will find out the money ever reached the bank for the hotel in Freeport? The DPM was excited about it. The PM as another swing job. Yeah, well, it's 2026. Let's hope we hear before election, eh? Pearly, is there a word called text? I know. Don't correct me. Debbie done call and correct me. Text. Wait, these texters are rough. Beside the food store items are still priced too high for struggling low-paid Bahamians. We want livable salaries and wages. The PLP government must go this year. Next text. Hey, Pearly, last year Brave said he will bring down VAT from 10% to 5%. Guess what happened? Things went through the roof. Now he's saying he's bringing it down from 5% to 0. Things will extra go to the roof. So where is his plans to bring this VAT down? Did he meet with the food store owners to bring the VAT 19 down? Just a lot of talk, no action. Hope I read that correctly. Boy. My question is, what are we doing to increase wages for our people? And I know the government announced that they increase our minimum wage and they can do it again, and they probably can try to drop that again before election to say minimum wage. What are we doing to make sure our light bills go down? I know they're saying the light bills can be going down. We got to wait a little while, but I ain't saying that. And I think because of how the light bill is, a lot of people ain't light up their house with Christmas tree lights, and I missed that. I missed that a lot this time. VAT on food items, but what about feminine products? What about medicine that was VAT free? Now they still got to pay VAT on that. And I went to get some meds the other day, and I walked into the pharmacy. I got the meds. And I'm thinking I'm spending, $15, $20 for this to get $48. And there's something that was far less than that when I bought that last year. And I see how the price jumped so high. So those are kind of things that going up. When we put 0% on food items, like I said, soap, dishwashing liquid, Ajax, bleach, cleaning products, hand towels. I see the VAT going out on them. I see the prices going. I see the prices going up on them. Cooked food. So, somebody said on the show yesterday the fact and that when you buy it from the distributor, or is it only VAT free when you buy it out of the food store? So in other words, if I go to buy bread. If I buy directly from Purity Bakery, is it VAT free? Is Super Value getting it VAT free when they buy it from them and they order the bread from Purity or whoever? Are they getting it VAT free? Or when the other food items coming from BFS or Dalbanus or Asa Pritchard, whatever we get, are they getting it VAT free or are they paying VAT for it when they buy it from them? And then selling it as VAT free. Is the fast food chains, when they buy the uncooked chicken or hamburgers or hot dogs, are they buying it VAT free? These are the kind of questions you have. That's what I'm asking. Caller, what say you, caller?
Yes, I don't.
Hey, guy, what's up?
Yeah, late in joining your show, but just let me explain to you with this VAT thing, right? Cost of living over the last 4 years has went up very easily, maybe 10%, maybe more. When you talk about inflation,
yeah,
the cost of electricity no one in the country, no business in the country pays for electricity, business license fees, or anything. Okay, in spite. Believe it or not, Super Value and other food stores do not pay any electricity bill. Do you know why? Because it's in the price of your product.
Oh, yeah, I know that.
Okay, good. So if those things have increased, transportation has increased, the shock of inflation, we import inflation, okay? There is nothing. We import almost 100% of our inflation. So removing 5 cents of every dollar doesn't change the fact that coffee and things, I bought coffee for under $10. It's almost $20 now, up almost to $6, $7. So all of the things you went up. And so the problem is not the fact that this VAT has done anything, because it will do nothing to the cost of living. What has happened is the government of the Bahamas has failed for 4 years to grow the economy to keep up with the cost of living increases or the price of inflation. Salaries have not increased, but the cost of living have went up. Rent, light, energy, electricity, all of these different things that input into the CPI has went up. So what the government has done is provide what is called a distraction all the way up to April 1st. And this is why they did it. Remember they did it last year, April 1st again?
Yep.
Okay, there's a trend here. April Fools.
Go to school.
Because they're fooling you with the impact that it's supposed to have on you. Have they fixed the energy aspect of the grid? No. Have they increased salary? They begin to talk about previously, because remember when they did the supposed go minimum wage increase, the minimum wage increase didn't even keep up with the cost of living at the time they give it.
No, it didn't.
And then they turned around and voodoo economics, where they simply say, here's your grocery bill. On this side of the column is where you pay zero. On this side of the column, you pay 12%. So now we're going to put them all together in one basket at 10%, and the net cost to you goes up.
Yep.
It doesn't reduce, so you pay more. So when it was separated in those two columns, let's say you were paying $10. When they put them all in one column, now you're paying $13.
Yep.
So they come back to you and say, hey, we're going to go back down to what you was originally paying, but at the same time, the cost of the goods is done. I ask anyone to go to the food store, and I have every receipt that I have spent probably for the last 15 years. And you can go to the food store, and I want anyone to show me the price where they were paying something, let's say $2, and it went up now to $2.40, where it has went back to $2. So where is the savings? The only way to impact this is to grow the economy, where this government has shown us no means of growing the economy. The most expensive aspect what people have talked about in the last 4 years is the cost of housing, because housing has become extremely less. I think people renting garbage cans in the front of their houses for $500 a month. And so
rent is ridiculously out of whack.
And that's part of the cost, and that's part of the cost of living. So you're telling people you're going to save you money on your food, and it's non-cooked food, but you don't have electricity to pay it. You don't have the gas money to buy the food. So what is the thing? It's illusionary savings. They might as well have told everybody that every behemoth also has 100% duty-free for Rolls Royces or Rolexes.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to have it. And so we have to have a conversation as we move into this election season as the most competent people to drive this economy forward. And then I have a couple questions for you, then I'm gone.
Okay.
Do you believe the government of the Bahamas has the ability to grow the economy, Mr. Brave Davis.
Based on what I've seen in the last 4.5 years, no.
Right. And I'm saying to people, I want the humans who are listening to me, if Brave Davis administration has the ability to grow the economy, and they haven't for the last 4 years, why haven't they? If they have the ability to reduce the cost of electricity through a strategy, to energy reduction, to a wider strategy, why haven't they?
Yeah.
If they have the ability to bring the livable wages and these other things, why haven't they? If they have the ability to build the thousands of homes that is needed, why haven't they? If they have the ability to bring about their rent-to-own program, why haven't they? If they have the ability to bring a very specific strategy for every single island, like they said they would in their blueprint for change, why haven't they? If they had the ability to bring about the digital Grand Bahama and other things they have for Grand Bahama, why haven't they? If they have the ability to bring about the orange economy that they keep talking about, why haven't they? See, so you could talk about the little progress you have, but you can't promise me 1,000 things. And then, as I say, you owe me $1,000 and bring me $200 and tell me that I should appreciate at least I've gotten that. That's not how it's worked.
Yeah.
A promise becomes a comfort to a fool.
Yeah.
And so, and let me just say this. You know how a promise becomes a comfort to a fool? You have two ways. When the person makes the promise, you must ask it. Does the person have the ability to do? Does the person have the intent? And I simply say this. Both of those things have to be, if the person does not have the ability or does not have the intent, they're calling you a fool. So if the government has the ability and the intent and they didn't do it, that means they've called us a fool. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you, caller. Interesting. Very interesting. We got a lot of text here. It says, let's go. Hello, Pearlie. Excellent talk show today. Now the Bahamas has been a nation for sale, and many politicians are compromised and found wanting. President Trump is coming with indictments and jail time. This general election will be very interesting. I support the bishop with truth. From Grand Bahama, we say today. Next one here says, hey, Pearlie, it's simple that lawyers need to stop talking about issues they didn't go to university to study, i.e. medical, accounting, engineering, and teaching. Texter. Anyway, let me read the next. Let me move on. Pearlie, how do you catch a caller who's going to use foul language on the radio? Do that person get charged? No, I have a very competent and excellent, one of the best in the business producers that will ensure that don't get on the air. So if you say the bomb, the F bomb to me, you can cut it out before it get on there. So none of us get charged. Okay. Hi, Pearlie. Hey, P. Okay. Our country is divided. Our country is divided in moral and spiritual decay, and we are being outnumbered in our own country while our politicians are enriching themselves. We are up the creek. We need supernatural intervention from our Savior, Jesus Christ. Pearlie, why don't the FNM consider taking VAT off all hygiene products, which everyone needs, and not just feminine products? I'm sure they're listening. I know at times they listen, so I'm sure they're listening. And so you're saying take it off for products for men as well as women. You're saying, okay, and I can agree with that, Hey, Pearlie, I bought a loaf of special blend for $4.60 from a store. The next week I went to another store, and the same bread cost $5.20. What's up with that? Wow. Now, price control on certain, price controlling all the bread in the stores, It's a special is the plain white bread that price control on. So the wheat bread, the special bread, all that, there's no price control on it. So you may see a vary in prices. It depends on what store you go in. Did C. Allen say Super Value don't pay light bills? If that's the case, can you explain why? He's saying that Super Value don't pay the light bill. You and I pay the light bill. So when we buy a loaf of bread, their overhead. One of the overhead is light bill, then there's salaries, there's security, all that stuff. So he's saying that the cost of the light bill, the cost of the salaries of the staff, all that goes into the cost of the products you're buying out of Super Value. That's what he means when he's saying that. Hey, Pearlie, why couldn't this VAT-free take in effect right away? Are they giving the shop merchants time to slowly and simply raise the prices, watch the prices for the next 4 months. No, if you tell me VAT tomorrow thing, I already pay VAT on certain things, so I guess they've given them time to clear their inventory and then start fresh. That's Pearlie's view. What about the Golden Yoke plan? What the story on the plan? Brave and crew, hurry, go please. That trick as we're off. Carry the parliamentary commissioner also. Yeah, where are the eggs? Because I like scrambled eggs. Behemoths have too many bills to pay every month. The government monthly paid salaries are simply not enough to cover all these high expenses. We are tired living paycheck to paycheck. It's a miserable life for workers in the Bahamas. Behemoths have too many bills to pay every month. The government monthly paid salaries are simply not enough to cover all high expenses. That's the same thing. You sent it to me twice, Dexter. Earlier, a caller called the talk show today using the F word, and that wasn't my producer on it, because if that's my producer, he can catch that. I sure that. Call you on the air. How you doing?
Hey, what's happening, Freddie?
And I know I can let you know, but right now, everything cool.
Not only has this government increased the cost of doing business in this country, they also have done nothing to deal with the ease of doing business in this country.
Yes.
You try to open up a business bank account.
Yes, and a lot of people complain about trying to open up a business bank account. It is taxing. It is tedious.
It is taxing.
It is frustrating. I know.
Yeah. So government. They. Hey, let me give the government a little bit of advice. Well, let Penta and crew come fix this thing and clean this up, Mark. If they can see him, you all know what's going on.
I hear you, brother. Thank you, brother. Thank you for calling. I say, ring the bell. Ring, man. Call you on the air. How you doing?
Good afternoon, Pearlie Daily. How you doing, man?
I'm right here, my brother.
All the girlies.
See, you trying to get me in trouble, you know. My people be listening, you don't try to get me in trouble, man.
And you know, I rhyming, man.
I know.
The rhymes not so slick I had to hear.
I know.
Pearlie.
Yes, sir.
Pearlie.
Yes, sir.
Now, you know we need some of that extraction fluid with this resonate from America to try and get this place clean up, hey? You know what they talking about, right?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, man, we need to do something, man, because I tell you no lie. It's like, they got us like, you can't say nothing, don't say nothing, oh, you disrespecting, oh, listen to me. Our country being given away by these same persons. I mean, when we do wrong, they call us criminal, right?
Yep.
Good. And I mean, what they're doing is criminal, right?
I hear you.
And it's so sad to know that. And they may be right there, and they passing all these things against us and telling us, oh, well, the reason why, because, the gene pool is small, and let a woman make one baby, And they talking these talks so negatively about behemoths, but then when you speak what it is, their lifestyle, right? You can't say that on the air that you offending somebody or it's disrespectful. You know what? At the end of the day, in this life, when you want to be respected, you do respectful things.
Your respect is earned, not demanded.
You know what I mean? They just go on and on this BS and giving this country away to a bunch of people who didn't even belong here and playing like they know what happened. In front of the U.S. Embassy, they know what the game is.
I know. I hear you.
It's a personal. That's Fred Mitchellette.
Well, we can find out soon. The man say ring the bell.
No. The bell ringing is one thing, but look where they got us now.
I hear you.
You ain't got no respect for America. They got more respect for Haiti, bringing all the Haiti inside. They're playing oblivious like they ain't know what they doing. And then Brave do too. Even being in land to them Haitian now, because you will get elected.
You think I gotta check that out. I gotta check that out and see, make sure that's actually what's happening.
And you know what, behemoths can't say nothing.
Well, you say no. This is your. There's a platform here. You got a platform so you can say how you feel about certain things. As we keep
they want to give away this country and to be set back and don't say nothing. And then we call talk show and say, "Oh, you can't say that. You can't say that." Man, hold on, man. I tell you, hey, the player.
Woosa.
You no lie, right? They tell us we can't curse and this and that. And I tell you no lie, right? I ain't gonna curse, right?
Please don't.
But the stuff they doing in this country and thing like that, pretty look here.
It make you want curse.
All the F word. And you could imagine. Because you know what? This country is greater than them, and they talk about what we can't say.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. I know how you feel. Let's hold for him, okay? You can take your next call. Call you on there. How you doing?
Hey, how you doing, man?
Yeah, they say right here.
Boy, our Prime Minister is one of the best.
I listen in.
He do some tricky things. He run on not introducing no new tax, right?
Uh-huh.
But he going up on everything.
Let's use a different word, fees.
He going up on everything.
Uh-huh.
You see, so you can't say he going new tax. He just making money.
Yeah.
Then he go over the VAT.
Yeah.
He said, okay, slip behind now. He put water on everything else and then drop it lower. Which he get more revenue now than you would get it if you leave it.
But my thing is, I really, honestly, I can't wait for the midterm budget because I really want to see the state, what the deficit is, where we at. Because I need to see that. And I really need to see what the midterm budget is going to be like. And then again, what the new budget in May is going to be like. Because I'm concerned. I am very concerned about which direction we're going in.
I think the problem we have is, when you see this government power, money is spent. And the country don't see nothing for it, but the money is spent. So you ain't like you ain't to see no deficit. Because people can make that money, contracts and this could be going on.
Yeah, but if you ain't got the money and you spend it, that means you overdraw your account. I ain't talking about account. So they predicted an X amount of dollars as a deficit, and now I'm waiting to see if it can be that or much more. And I'm willing to bet you it can be over $400 million.
Yeah, and I think what you look at, right? Whenever one of the ministers comes with something that may be controversial to the public, right? Our Prime Minister is trying to see what the minister come up with, right? Our Prime Minister come to see how we respond to it. That if we respond negative, then he come and say, no, man, we can't deal with that, man. The BNP can't deal with that, and then they put it back. But I'm quite sure if a minister waits for me, he cannot go to nothing controversial to the public before coming to me first.
Yeah.
So he's actually don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Lack of proper communication amongst them then.
But he has to know, because ain't nobody that fool to do something like that without coming to the boss first.
But some people fast, they just do things and then have to beg forgiveness later.
Boy, I don't think no one to do that. You remember the national insurance?
Yeah.
He's one of the folks who said, no, we can't do it right now. So I pretty sure anybody can make that kind of big decision, an announcement, and can't talk to the Prime Minister first. That is, I can't accept that to be that far.
We'll see. Anyway, I got to run because I got the next caller coming and running out of time here. Yeah.
Hey, Willie, good afternoon.
Hey, my brother, what's up?
Right here, my brother. Tell me something.
All right.
From your knowledge, how many times can a referendum be called into by the government for the citizenry to have a voice into matters that really affects them?
I think there's some things that needs a certain percentage passed in the House, or it needs to go to referendum. If the government feels that they want to bring the citizenship thing back or any other things back, they need to look at it and properly reword the bill and bring it to the referendum. So they can do it as often as they want, I think.
What happens if the people want a referendum on these things?
Then you got to go at your people and keep demanding it. March on Bay Street. Open your mouth and make noise and call for it.
Well, I'm going to tell you, my brother, if you listen to the concerns over the last 4 years, in fact, over the past 15, 20 years, you can hear the same things consistently being brought up, but it seems as if the voices have fallen on deaf ears.
But I personally think, fellas, I'm scared to call a referendum on anyone, because every time you call a referendum, you don't ever get what you're looking for. I.e., when Ingram called a referendum, late Paul Ali said, if you don't understand it, vote no, and everybody vote no. When Christie called a referendum, people jump up, and he called an opinion poll after. People, they may be gun shy.
Well, it now then lands back onto our shoulders. The 38 members in the House, in the governing seat, we have to hold them accountable because the job that they're doing on behalf of the Bahamian people. And listen, they may say, hey, well, the voices who are sending voices are in the minority, but I want them to notice the message that the people are addressing are of a serious nature as it applies or pertains to the governance of this country. We are not satisfied And sadly, my last note here.
Yeah, because I got to cut you because I run out of time.
We
Go
were
fast.
talking about accountability and persecution by those who are in charge of us. Well, I guess it's up to us to do the next best thing.
Amen, I say. Amen.
Thank you for taking my call.
Yes, my brother. Thanks for calling. Let me read these texts quick before we go. Hey, Pearlie, I'm surprised Wayne Monroe hasn't made a statement on that police officer taking money from a tourist. That's it. It's been wonderful. Sparky, I can call you. Don't worry. It's been wonderful. Thank you for the call. Thank you for the text. When we get back, I'm going to see what Sparky has to say, and I'll talk about that. Get into sports. The New York Giants hired themselves a new head coach. This is Pearlie on Guardian Radio 96.9. It's a Talking Heads Thursday. We'll see you right after the news.
I got sand in my shoe. Harbor Island. Lots of things to do. Break it straight, y'all.
John Shoes and Accessories is your one-stop shop for all your footwear needs. You will find what you're looking for among the growing collection of classic and trendy styles with new arrivals every week. John's covers the whole family and has great prices, helpful and friendly customer service. Your experience shopping with us will be time well spent. Shop with us online at www.johnshoes.com. John's also now carries small home appliances, so come on into John's, located on Rosetta Street in Palmdale and Carmichael Road West. John's, we put fashion at your feet.
Crunch boring lunches and enjoy real food at a real good price with KFC's value deals. For $5.95, you can get a famous bowl and drink or a one-piece chicken box. For max value, grab a value box. That's a piece of our iconic chicken, nuggets, cheesy mashed potato, a buttery biscuit, fries, a dessert biscuit, and so KFC value deals have got the crunch that you're looking for. KFC knows value, and it's finger licking good.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty, hosted by Earl the Pearl. On Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
Welcome back to our Talking Heads Thursday here on Guardian Radio 96.9. This is your boy Pearlie in the house. I got a couple of texts I'd like to quickly read before we get into the show. But before I'm going to say shout out to a new listener. So the first time they hear me on radio. Hey, Nikki. Hey, Nikki, you so fine. You so fine. You blow my mind. Thank you for listening, Nikki. I so appreciate that. Says, Pearlie, I know why Robert Karen quit from running Short Story. You know what? I was in Inagua this weekend. Last week, remember, I dedicated to my show to my Auntie Iva, who passed. So I went to my Auntie Iva's funeral this weekend. And on Friday, the PM got there, and they had a little protest. The PLPs had a little protest at the airport, saying they wanted Robert. There was about maybe 15 of them up there. So I know they're pretty disappointed to see that he pulled out, because that was kind of interesting. That was the talk of the island. And even though I went there for a sad occasion, it was so good to be home. It was so good to be back in Inagua. One of my aunt's family members on her side of the family, on the Burrow side of the family from Long Island, want to know who this man is talking about his auntie on the radio. Hey, brother. And he was surprised to know it was me, but it was wonderful to see so many family members. I'm so happy I was able to go there and give my aunt the finals goodbye. And see so many family members. Hi, Samantha, my favorite cousin. Don't tell everybody else that. It was good to be in Inagua. I hate going there because I hate leaving. And if I could stay forever, it's a wonderful place. And people, I tell you, if you really want a good vacation, go to Family Island. Don't go foreign and go shopping. Go to Family Island, sit back, relax, and enjoy the island life. Let me read these last couple of texts. AP, what happened to those immigrants when the government demolished their homes? You mean in Spanish Wells? They got to find to eat, got to find somewhere else to live, I guess. Hey, Pearlie, Clay Sweeten will demolish shanty towns anywhere, but not in Palmetto Point. We have more illegals in shanty towns all through the bushes. So now they know it there. Let's get right into today in sports history before I get myself in problems. It is so good to be here. It's so good to talk sports. So we're going to talk a little bit about what's going on. We're going to talk about the New York Giants hiring their new head coach. But just before we do that, we should really talk about the day in sports history. The 15th of January 2026. It was just Christmas. I show it's just Christmas 2 days ago. And all of a sudden, we almost finished the first month of 2026. They say, but my how times fly when you're having fun or catching hell. I don't know which one it is. In 1892, the Springfield, Massachusetts rules of basketball by James Naismith was printed in the Triangle newspaper. In 1934, Babe Ruth signed a 1934 contract worth $35,000. Fellas getting $35 million and stuff like that now. In 1942, U.S. President Franklin D. Roosevelt gave baseball the approval to play despite World War II. He encouraged night games so the war workers could attend. In 1958, the New York Yankees announced that they would televise 140 games in the 1958 season. Now, 162 are televised, and I watch, on my Dodgers, I probably watch 120, 130 of them every year. In 1967, the first National Football League Super Bowl was played. The Green Bay Packers defeated the Kansas City Chiefs for the American Football League, with a final score of 35-10. The game was televised by both CBS and NBC and was not a sellout. Now they are selling the tickets game for $5,000 and plus. In 1968, Bill Matterson of the Minnesota North Stars died of brain injury that he suffered 2 days earlier in a game against the Oakland Seals. He was the first casualty of the NHL. In 1978, the Super Bowl was played indoors for the first time. The game was played at the Louisiana Superdome in New Orleans. The Dallas Cowboys defeated the Denver Broncos 27-10. In 1990, Don Nelson became the second man in NBA history to appear in 1,000 games as a head coach and as a player. Lenny Wilkins was the first to achieve the record. In 1997, Dennis Rodman cameraman Eugene Amosin in the groin. In 1997, the Seattle Supersonics set the NBA record with 27 steals against the Toronto Raptors. In 2001, an anonymous bidder paid just over $3 million for a baseball. The ball was the 70th home run hit by Mark McGwire. And finally, in 2002, 7 minority players took part in the NHL game between the St. Louis Blues and the Edmonton Oilers. The record number of minority skaters included Edmonton Anson Carter, George Larocque, Sean Brown, and Mike Guerrero of St. Louis, Jamal Mayers, Fred Brathwaite, and Bryce Salvador. There are not many minority players in hockey, but the ones who are there are really good. Our sports quote today, sweet plus sacrifice equals success. Charlie Finley, former owner of the Oakland Athletics. What's going on in the home front? Take a quick look here. Dickerson wins title at Bahamas Golf Classic. American pro golfer shot 27 under par to take the title. Freeman having breakout season with Syracuse. And Freeman, ladies and gentlemen, remember this name, Donnie Freeman. He's a sophomore playing at Syracuse University. He's having a breakout season. He's going to be our next NBA player. Remember, Pearlie told you that, okay? From Syracuse, my cousin Michael, and some other friends went to Syracuse, so he watches all the Syracuse game, and actually called me and brought my attention to him, and then Guardian has an article about him today. So pay attention to Donnie Freeman. You're going to hear his name called. It could be this year. He may declare for the draft this year, but he was hurt. He got hurt last year, so he's only played about 5 games since he's back. He's averaging like 25 points a game. The brother can ball. He can ball. He's going to be the next behemoth. So if it isn't in the draft this year, definitely next year we'll see him in the NBA. But take it, Donnie Freeman. You heard it here from Pearlie. BYFL, Bahamas Youth Flag Football, sending 3 teams to Tampa. And I spoke to them yesterday. They left today, heading to Tampa. The under-15 team came 3rd last year in the world out of like 160 teams. And they're looking to do good this year. They will be on the show with me next week, Thursday, to give us an update on how they did. Last year was a little rough time because it rained and it was cold and all that stuff. They don't know. Cold front coming to Florida, so it could be cold again this year. But I'm looking forward to good things coming out of this. Flag football is really growing in the Bahamas. You know, I have a special interest in the Bahamas Youth Flag Football League. I kind of an unofficial sponsor of the league. in terms of giving them talk time and publicizing what they do. It's great work that they're doing, Jason and Muffy and Coach Ane and others are doing there. I wish them luck. Let's keep them in our prayers as they travel, have safe travels. Let's keep them in our prayers as they play to stay injury-free, and let's keep them in our prayers to say that they bring back some trophies to the Bahamas, representing us well in the flag football world championships. I know they're going to do well. And I'm excited about that. All right. This says, April Lee, there's another sports scandal in college. I'm not too much updated on that. I'm going to do some research in that, and Naughty and I will talk about that on the press box on Sunday at 11 a.m. Tune in as we talk all sports on Sunday, and we'll be able to give you some updates on that. So, what's going on in the world? Who's in and who's out? And you know who's in? John Harbaugh. Let's make sure, because I know that he was about to sign. They said that he made an agreement. He made an agreement to be the coach for the New York Giants. I don't know if they've officially signed off on it yet, but it looks like he's going to be the next head coach there. But they said they're giving him everything he wanted, the control he wanted, all that. So hopefully we'll see that happen for him really soon, that he will be the next coach of the Dallas, wishful thinking, hey, Naughty, of the New York Giants. They said that he talked to Miami, and, things could change. Things could change in a heartbeat. They're saying that he's expected to sign with the Giants, and then tomorrow morning he signed with somebody else. But things could change. But I think that what I heard through my sources with the Dolphins is that Miami got too many holes. Miami got too much work. Miami got too many to go to a team that has a chance that he can help put into a championship almost immediately, and it won't be in Miami. So sounds like he doesn't want to go through the process of building a team from scratch or building a team from low. So we'll see what happens. But they think that he could. They think that this is something I'm reading here now, that he should be able to. And so the New York Giants are set to make a big splash in the hiring cycle, which could propel them into playoff contention, much like the New England Patriots did with head coach Mike Vrabel. According to NFL's Network Ian Rappaport, the Giants are working on a 5-year deal that will make John Harbaugh one of the league's highest-paid head coaches. Like Vrabel in New York and New England, Harbaugh could take on a second head coaching job, inheriting a roster with a promising quarterback in Jackson Dart, who showed flashes in his rookie year, and a team that will hold a top 5 draft pick. Although the Giants won't have much cap space, as the Patriots had a year ago, they could free up resources through notable cuts and trades. Keep in mind that defensive lineman Dexter Lawrence II doesn't have any guaranteed money on the final 2 terms of his deal. So in other words, they could cut him and that they don't take a salary cap hit. So the Giants trade him to the Dolphins, make some trades, adjust some contracts to free up some money so they can hire. And and Dart is a good, promising quarterback. Unlike Miami, don't have a quarterback like that now. So it's going to be interesting to see. I saw a mock draft yesterday on Miami, and it's recommending that the first 2 picks Miami do is offensive linemen. And then they have, I think, either the third, then they talked about cornerbacks, and then they talk about getting with Carson Beck, the quarterback from Miami, I think it is. And drafting him later down and let him compete with US for the starting job, and then maybe see what they can do to get a franchise quarterback later on down. So that's interesting stuff. That is interesting stuff. If that goes, he will be the first domino to fall. That will be the first of the 9 available head coaching jobs, and numerous offensive coordinators and numerous defensive coordinators available. So I think once this happens, I think you're going to see a flurry of signings, because a lot of teams who are hoping to look at him but know he's not there, they're going to start grabbing up other people. Text says, hey, Pearly, the Dolphins going with Don Shula grandson, not Brian. He's not Brian. I think it's Chris Shula. He's a coordinator now. He's one of them interviewing. They've interviewed the former head coach of Cleveland, and some others. They did interview Harbaugh. I think they spoke to Harbaugh too, I think. So I'm not rushing for Miami to do anything just yet. The new work to do. A lot of things to do. So let's see what happens there. Let's see what happens. There's no rush to go grab somebody to say I want them to make the right choice. That is the right choice for the Miami Dolphins. I don't want them just to grab them the first person they could get their hands on and find out it wasn't the right choice. McDaniels, I thought, was the right choice. My son and I, who are Dolphin fans, spoke after, I think, season 2 and he said to me, Daddy, I think we finally found our head coach. Ha, 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 yeah, right. So he ended up getting fired. So I want him to do it right. Do the due diligence. Do the research. Sullivan, who has worked in doing excellent in drafting in the past, his old job, sit down, find the right coach so that we find to bring in the right players. Miami has no salary cap money, so we gotta build this team of drafts, make some cuts, make some salary adjustments to sign some key players, and it ain't gonna be no top tier player right now because we can't afford them. Get some second level players solid football players who can help these young kids grow. Then next year go back in the draft, pick up some more players. And similar to what Detroit did, similar to what New England is doing, New England had some money, so they bought in some players too. But similar to what Denver did, bringing in players, drafting players, and we got to make the right draft. Greer has had some hits, some good draft, but I think most of his drafts have not been that good. Not been that good. I mean, Achane has been a good pick. Waddle has been a good pick. They've been 2 good picks. But other than, and a couple others, but we've had a lot of misses. So hopefully Sullivan, as the new general manager, will find a good coach, bring in a good coach, turn the team around slowly. Let's take our time, build this team so that we sustain a solid football team. And let's draft and pick up some players who tough. These little powder puff players we've been drafted over the last few years, not Achane, not Waddle, but some other players. They're not tough enough. So we need to do that. Says, Pearlie, I was listening to a sports station earlier this morning. The sports analyst was saying someone wants to buy the Miami Dolphins for $15 billion, but the owner, Stephen Ross, told him no. Stephen Ross said he wanted to leave the team for his son and daughter. Actually, what happened is he got a $15 billion offer for the team, but he had one of the NFL rules is when you own it, you have to show what your succession plan is. Something happens to you, who's going to take over the team? His 2 daughters will own the team. One of his daughter's sons, who works with him now, was involved in the general manager situation, will be the boss, will be the day-to-day, will be the owner, will be the owner rep, will be the person who has to say, he'll be the boss. But his wife and his sister-in-law will be the actual owners of the team. And the son-in-law will be the one got the little play in there. Boy, that's and let me not get myself in trouble. But he's a lucky guy. You pick up a rich wife, and your father-in-law like you, bring you in, and you're gonna be running one of the marquee franchises of the NFL in the Miami Dolphins, which is tremendous. So he turned down $15 billion with a B. Let's make sure we clear dollars. Somebody wanted to purchase that team. That's amazing. That is amazing. And he says, no, my daughter's got that. Don't mean the daughters won't sell it later. Right? But Ross is not going to sell it. And he put on his succession plan that he presented to the NFL that his daughters will own the team and his son-in-law will be the boss, will be in charge, if I to use his words. So that'll be something to watch over the next few years. It's happened. Ross ain't going nowhere right up to now. Okay? So don't build up your hopes and think that can happen right away. Okay? So there's a lot of things going on. They say Aaron Rodgers cried when Tomlin stepped down. But behemoths, or I should say sports fans, they can throw you under the bus. Tyreek Hill, the wide receiver for the Miami Dolphins, posted, says Miami Dolphin wide receiver Tyreek Hill, social media activity has raised some eyebrows in recent weeks and caused a stir once again on Thursday. Another cryptic tweet saying, I want to go home. Right? The declaration comes after Hill made similar cryptic posts following the Dolphins' firing of head coach Mike McDaniels and hiring of John Eric Sullivan as general manager. Naturally, fans on social media couldn't help but speculate which whom Hill was referring to as he began his career with the Kansas City Chiefs. The Atlanta Falcons was also floated as a possibility since he's a Georgia native. All right, so Hill, you know, he go man, hurry up, go brother, hurry up, go, because it's such a distraction. It's such a distraction, and you post this now. You got Dolphin fans up in arms. You got Kansas City Chief fans wondering if he will come back, and we don't even know if he's what kind of shape he's gonna be in, because he tore up every ligament in that knee of his. So we don't know how soon he'll be back. We don't know how his rehabilitation is going. We don't know if he's going to be the same player that he was, which I'm hoping he does. So I don't know. Then you got your Eagles fans. A.J. Brown, trade rumors discussed by Eagle general manager Rosewood. Hard to find great players. So a lot of Eagle fans want him gone. He's not happy there. So that's going to be something that's going to be discussed later. Sam Darnold is questionable. The Seattle Seahawks quarterback is dealing with a troubling injury heading into the Saturday's NFC Division Round game against the San Francisco 49ers. He's listed as questionable for the contest due to an oblique injury. He was not listed on the injury report on Tuesday or Wednesday. He said Donald told reporters he expects to play. That brother can play. That guy is going to play. This is the biggest game of his career. He's been said he can't win the big game. He can't perform. He's been doing well. He's really turned his career around in Seattle. He's done really well here. He did well. He's going to play. He's not going to miss it. He's going to give it his best. All right. Another story. Say Pittsburgh Steelers facility was melancholic. It was a melancholic scene as head coach Mike Tomlin informed the team he was stepping down as head coach. Dave spoke to one staffer who described the scene as like a funeral. I teared up. It's like finding out your dad died, they say. Star linebacker T.J. Watt was among those stunned by the news, simply saying, no, man, as Tomlin gave the farewell speech. Quarterback Aaron Rodgers was emotional as well. He reportedly told Tomlin, I'm sorry, on multiple occasions. Inside the team meeting room Tuesday, Rodgers, through sobs, mustered a two-word message to deliver to his coach, I'm sorry. Several players heard him say, I'm sorry. Yeah, because Rodgers looked bad in the last game. And you know, Tomlin has been a great coach. 19 years in Pittsburgh and has always had a winning season. You know the coach can say, the teams have gone 7-9, Dolphins 5-15 one time. 5-12 one year. 1-15, I think, 9-8, or they're below 500. They've always had a winning season. They always won more games than they lost, and that is tremendous feat to do that for 19 straight years. I heard the noise in the market. Players calling for his head, calling for him to leave, calling for him to get out. I didn't think that was a good. I didn't like that. I didn't like that, and I thought he gave too much and so much to the Pittsburgh Steelers that he deserved to leave on his terms, and hopefully he did leave on his terms. I feel for it, so I give my sympathies to Sister Sledge and others who are Obi, those and I think 52 it is, huge Pittsburgh Steelers fans. I wanna give my sympathy. You lost a great coach. Hopefully you'll find an even greater one. I think Flores is a front runner. Really good defensive-minded coach. Will continue that defensive dominance that Pittsburgh has done if he gets the job. So over the next few weeks, it's going to be interesting to see who's going to be behind. Now that John Harbaugh probably is going to be signing a 5-year deal with the Giants, a lot of other teams will start grabbing coaches as quickly as possible. Mr. Producer, let's take our first break. We're going to take our first break. When we get back, we talk a little bit basketball, see what's going on in the Major League Baseball, give you my picks for the night. This is Pearly on Guardian Radio, 96.9 F.
John Shoes and Accessories is your one-stop shop for all your footwear needs. You will find what you're looking for among the growing collection of classic and trendy styles with new arrivals every week. John's covers the whole family and has great prices, helpful and friendly customer service. Your experience shopping with us will be time well spent. Shop with us online at www.johnshoes.com. John's also now carries small home appliances, so come on into John's, located on Rosetta Street in Palmdale and Carmichael Road West. John's, we put fashion at your feet.
Wait, you know what's going down tomorrow?
Nobody, what happening?
Joe bringing these knives to school. He could do Junior in.
For what?
Wait, he fooled with Joe girl.
Mother sick. And you know Junior don't back down for nothing. So that means you got a big fight tomorrow.
So whose side you on?
Side? I trying to stay in school, not Simpson Pen. We gotta tell somebody about this fight.
Tell somebody? I ain't no snitch. I mean cool, you know.
Wait, if you so cool, then you need to stay in school and stay out of the fight.
Yeah, but if I don't hang on Joe's side, how many boys coming for me next?
Right, so we definitely gotta tell somebody. We gotta prevent the fight.
What I say, I don't want nobody call me snitch.
We could just call Crime Stoppers. You could report what you know, and nobody gotta know it's you.
So how did I boy?
All you gotta do is call them, or you text them through the Crack Crime Bahamas app, and nobody can know it's you.
Then the police come looking for me for more info, and when they finish with them, Joe them coming looking for me?
When you call Crime Stoppers, the calls go directly to Miami, and they don't ask nothing about you. Then if you get the pen from them, and they can claim a reward later using that same pen.
Plus, everything's scrambled, so nobody can read what you're saying.
Call 328-8477 from Nassau or 242-300-8477 from the Family Islands.
Crunch boring lunches and enjoy real food at a real good price with KFC's value deals. For $5.95, you can get a famous bowl and drink or a one-piece chicken box. For max value, grab a value box. That's a piece of our iconic chicken, nuggets, cheesy mashed potato, a buttery biscuit, fries, a dessert biscuit, and soda, all for just $9.95. KFC value deals have got the crunch that you're looking for. KFC knows value, and it's finger-licking good.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty, hosted by Earl the Pearl. On Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
And welcome back to our Talking Heads Thursday Sports here on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. This is your boy Pearly in the house. You can go right to the talk call lines. If you're the one who called early, I do apologize. Call. I had the newspaper open over the phone. I didn't see the phone blinking. I do apologize. Caller, welcome to Talking Heads. What's on your mind?
Muff,
what's up, bro?
Yeah. How done you all out in this weather, man? How done you all?
Boy, listen.
Because I know my grandmother, boy, she can tell you when anywhere to coming, boy. Oh,
listen,
there's some rain coming.
My problem is getting up in the morning. I got to do my sister taught me a little exercise, so I do. So it ain't too bad now. Getting there.
But Freddie, the big question is, who our quarterback to be, man? Who do you think we could go with, man? I heard him saying something about a quarterback from Oregon. But I don't know. Who you think we could go with, man?
No, Moore ain't gonna be that. The quarter Dante Moore is not gonna be there by the time the Dolphins pick at number 11, and it'd be terrible to pick him and you ain't got nobody to protect him. I really think we should go after offensive linemen. Let's build our team properly. Don't look, let me tell you this one thing. Don't look to win next year.
No, I know that, man.
Right.
But you see it happen with me and you were saying, though, let's clean house. Let's fire up everybody.
Yeah.
The drainages, the water boy and everything, and come back clean.
Yeah.
And rebuild. But you see, we are on that process. That's what have me happy.
Yeah, I agree with that. Weaver's interviewing for some jobs. He might get a job. If he gets a job, then that's good for him. But I don't look for Miami. I think they may go with Carson Beck in maybe the later round. Bring him in for him and see if he can develop into eventually to challenge Ewers for the job or eventually become a good backup later down the line. But I don't see Miami going after big name quarterback right now at all. So I never know. Tua may turn it around. I may be the starting quarterback next year, but under the new head coach, it may be something different. He may not be able to do it under McDaniels. I've seen some quarterbacks who that's Baker Mayfield, who's in Tampa Bay, bombed out in Cleveland, and people thought he was done. It's pretty good.
Right. And Rogers was crying from that beating, man. He's crying from no Tomlin and all that beating. Not him crying, man. He only used Tomlin for scapegoat. But Purdy, Jazz had signed the $10 million for 1 year, so that means you all can't get him no more.
No. That don't mean that don't mean that. What he's what they call arbitration eligible, right? So after a certain amount of years in the league, you can go what they call to arbitration, but it means that you may feel that you worth a certain amount of dollars. So what you'll go is you will predict, I want $12 million a year. And then team will come back and say, okay, we'll pay you that, or no, you only weigh $10 million, and then you go to arbitration. You argue why you should get 12. The team argue why you should only pay you 10, and then the arbitrator makes a decision on what you get. What a lot of teams do, and which the Dodgers did with this for, they come and say, listen, man, let's wait this out. Let's wait this out. So they probably went in and say, we offering you 10, you might get 11, but let's take the 10 and let's look at how we could do an extension later on down. So what he did was he signed a 1-year deal to avoid going through arbitration.
Oh, okay.
So next year, I think he maybe still have one more arbitration year. I'm not sure, or they may look. So if the Dodgers want to, if the Dodgers or the Marlins want to trade for him now, they can trade him because he's under contract.
Oh, okay.
So he made, I think, $5 million. Nice race.
Yeah, that's a nice big game.
Yeah, and he getting married too, so that's good to start a marriage, marriage off of it.
Well, for real, yeah. DJ them get blown right out last night. They beat really by 30 points.
By plenty points.
From Cleveland.
Yeah, they get mashed right up last night.
They get mashed right down, man.
Yeah.
But you see how much for tickets for Monday night, by over $4,000.
You see, that's and what you think the Super Bowl ticket prices could be?
But over 6.
All right then. So yeah, but that and people compare that's the hardest game. The University of Miami playing on I think one of the first times recently that they playing on their home field.
Yeah, the first time ever.
All right, they playing on their home field. So, they didn't expect them to be there. And they tell and the center said they didn't expect us to be here, so we determined to show that we deserve to be here. That's gonna be a great game Monday. And you'll hear on Sunday how we pick it. We'll talk about it Sunday in the press box at 11 a.m. Tune in.
You're right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. All right, then, Brady. Let me let someone else get in, man.
Okay, brother. Okay. Yeah. All right. I got a text here. Let me read this. IP Moore decided to stay. That's right. He did decide to stay in Oregon. You're correct. Thank you, Mr. Dexter. You're right. He is staying. You're correct. That's right. I forgot about that. He decided he's going to go back for 1 more year, which actually probably going to make Oregon one of the favorites for the national title next year. He's a really good quarterback. I'm glad he's staying 1 more year, and I'm glad Arch Manning is staying 1 more year. They become better quarterbacks. And see, the good thing about with this NIL, name, image, and likeness, you don't have to rush to come out because you need to do something. You need to make some money to take care of your family. You making he can make $5 million maybe next year. So he don't need to rush to come out. You don't need to rush to come out, so he'll be good. Call you on there. How you doing? Caller, I can't hear you, caller. Caller, you need to hang up and call right back. For some reason, we have a terrible connection. Let's hang up and call right back, and we put you right back on the air. Because I couldn't hear anything you were saying. Yeah, I do apologize. Yeah, that's right. And matter of fact, they talked about it on ESPN this morning, I was too busy making coffee. And they talked about he's coming back, which makes Oregon one of the favorites for the national title next year. So I'm anxious to see after this game on Monday who stays, who goes. University of Miami still looking to replace their quarterback because he's graduating and she's going in the draft, so they can see who they can replace. Mendoza going in the draft, but his brother Mendoza in Indiana, his brother is the backup quarterback, so I don't know if he's good enough to step right in. That's going to be interesting. So you're going from Mendoza to Mendoza. That's interesting. So, but we'll see. We'll see what goes on there. Kyle Tucker. They're expecting that he probably is going to pick who's going to play with today. The Mets made him a $50 million offer. They said the Dodgers made him an offer. They didn't say how much. The Phillies made him an offer. So I think he's going to pretty much decide today or between today and tomorrow where he's going to go. I have mixed emotions when I want him to be a Dodger, but I'm not going to be upset. The Dodgers don't need him. Let me get that right. My 2-time back-to-back World Series champions do not need him. But if we get him, send me my trophy for number 3. Call you on the air. How you doing?
Hello.
Yes, sir. How are you? Mr. Yankee himself. What's happening?
You making those ones this early?
Say what?
You're looking those Dolphin wounds already?
Man, the Dolphins out. So yeah, I ain't been looking no wounds. We ain't in the playoffs no more. Plenty else out. Pittsburgh out. Dallas out. Who your team is again? Let me hear that. I forgot. Who's your team again? I hear you. I can't hear you.
What I call it, but Yankees haven't been as proactive as I thought they would have been.
I'm actually disappointed in your Yankees. I'm really disappointed.
Within another week or so.
You think Bellinger can come back?
Yeah, I think we're gonna go after Bouchette. The Bellingham fella, he want too much. He ain't waiting no 37 million. He got to be out of his mind.
You think he's worth it?
He don't wait 37 million.
How much you want to pay him?
He's a good player. He's not a great player.
Former rookie of the year, former MVP. Ain't wait 37 million.
Or Tani or.
No. Otani is 70. But you can pay Bouchette 30 million.
I went off him a dime more.
You can pay. How much you offer him? 25 mil.
I went off him a dime more than put on the table. 5 years at 30 million.
So you don't. So all right. So you saying 5 and 150 million?
Yeah, that's almost 200. He's still got 155 million anyhow. But like I said, that's going beyond. Ain't nobody else can pay him.
I don't think Bo Bichette can.
7 years. Nobody can commit to 7 years.
I think Bo Bichette can end up in Philadelphia.
Yeah, you don't see all the big stars signing 3-year contract.
Yeah, because there's two reasons why. There's concern with the lockout that's coming up with the lockout coming up after the season. In December, there's concern about the lockout, and they're concerned that what's going to happen there.
27 or something like that. He's trying to chance, but he already can be paid. You want to say, I'm going to commit 7 years to you, boy. You'll be 88, and they pay what? No.
Yeah, but listen, but he can't play ball at 38. Freddie Freeman, Mookie Betts, they're in their 30s.
And guess what? They say the Dodgers are interested. I doubt it.
If they sign Kyle Tucker, he definitely ain't coming back to L.A. Yeah.
I probably, the Dodgers may have some interest in Kyle Tucker.
No, we have interest in Tucker. We have interest in Bo Bichette.
If there's any big free agent, it wouldn't be Bellinger.
I think Bellinger get back up in New York. I think he's gonna end up back in New York.
Would you agree with that?
I think he's gonna end up back in New York.
Yeah, he's gonna have to sign up.
I don't know if it's gonna be 37 million.
If I wouldn't even talk to them anymore. I just go and get Bouchette. We could make some adjustment on the infield.
So if they sign Belly,
we have a man who can hit, and he's consistent, and so he's gonna bring us that kind. He can be that person that can help protect Judge in the lineup.
Who, Bo?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what you can do? You can put him in shortstop and you move Volpe.
Yeah, we can work that. We can put him at second base.
I mean, you can put Jazz.
No, listen, man, Jazz can't play shortstop, you know.
Yeah, I know he can play shortstop, but why would you? So Jazz is a second baseman. Jazz is playing second base. Why would you put up in Bo Bichette on second when you can put him in shortstop if you can move Volpe?
Yeah, but you remember our shortstop is a hot area, very, very hot. And so that's like up to time. You always need a good shortstop.
Yeah.
If you're going to be a good, productive team, because 9 or 10 chances that's where the double play starts.
Yeah, and Volpe won't be back until May. I think he's out May, June.
Yeah,
I think he's
don't
out.
know what condition he's going to be in.
Yeah.
So, for all intended purposes, if you're thinking about trying to get the World Series, you got to play this thing with sense, man.
Listen carefully. Bo Bichette will not be a Yankee.
I will sign him to a 5-year contract.
He will not be a Yankee. You're going to get Bellinger. You're going to end up back with Bellinger. Bo Bichette can go to the Phillies, and Kyle Tucker going to the Dodgers.
You saying Tucker to the Dodgers and Bouchette to who?
To the Phillies. Watch. You can call me back. You can call me back and say, Boy Pearly, you must have got a crystal ball.
No, what I'm saying is you can't run the same team back. They didn't get it done last year. You can't run that team back and expect them to be more productive.
The Yankees? Yeah, but the Yankees have not. The Yankees been too quiet.
You need a good right-hand bat in the lineup. You need a good right-hand bat, and Bouchette is that guy.
You're not going to get him. I'm telling you, you're not going to get him.
That's why the Yankees ain't too much talking with Belichick no more, you know.
With Bellinger, not you think that? I'm telling you, Bo Bichette will either be a Philly, a Dodger, or back to Toronto.
No, boy, we going all out on this time. All out.
You really confident? You been talking confidence with the Yankees and they letting you down straight through.
He's being a proven hitter, man.
Okay.
And they have done remarkably. Just watch him play in the World Series after being out for so long.
Yep.
So he show you that what he's made of.
We'll see.
So it's a matter of time. We can see it. Between now and next week, we're going to have to talk again.
All right, we can talk. Listen, I get God willing, Pearlie will be right here. No, I'll be right here Thursday. God willing, I'll be here, and you can tell me what you think.
I honestly feel that the Yankees can pull that off with them.
All right, time will tell. One thing I know, just keep watching. We can know some things can be start happening over the day. Once you see Tucker sign with somebody, you'll see the others start picking up, other signings happen.
I saw the Blue Jays can lose them.
We'll see. All right, brother. Take care of yourself. Nice to hear from you. Mr. Yankee himself. Let's get into the picks. Let's see what's going on. We can do NBA picks today, people. And we can start out right away. Phoenix Suns at the Detroit Pistons. 7.5. I think that's a pretty large. I'm going to take Detroit in the money line. Oklahoma Thunder at the Houston Rockets. That's going to be a really good game. I will take Oklahoma in the money line as well. The Boston Celtics at the Miami Heat at home. Boston has been inconsistent. Miami sometimes, I think I'm going to take Miami in the points today. Muffed up for you. Milwaukee Bucks at the San Antonio Spurs. The Spurs lost a good one the other day. I like the Spurs tonight, and I like them at the 7.5. The Utah Jazz at tonight, I'll take them at the 3.5. The New York Knicks at the Golden State Warriors. That's a lot. 7.5 is a lot in this game. I will take the Warriors in the money line. Boy, that's a lot. The Atlanta Hawks at the Portland Trailblazers. Atlanta, I think that trade is going to be a better deal for them. I like Atlanta tonight, and I like them with the money 3.5. The Grizzlies already lost to the early game today in the Berlin games earlier today. 118 to 111. And then finally, the Charlotte Hornets at my Los Angeles Lakers. The Lakers are 3.5-point favorites. But the Lakers just don't play defense. Oh, this make me so mad. Luka, let me see. Because you never know when that fella named LeBron ain't playing. You never know. Okay? Reeves is still out. Hayes is out with a hamstring. A lot is going to be on DeAndre Ayton today. LaMelo Ball is back in the starting lineup. I am going to take the Lakers today, and I'm going to take them into 3.5 points. There you got it. Brought to you all by Island Games. Thank you so much for the listening. Thank you for the text. Thank you for the text. Thank you for the calls. Thank you for support. This is Pearlie, Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Be safe on those wet roads, and see you Sunday in the press box at 11 a.m. Take care.
Crunch boring lunches and enjoy real food at a real good price with KFC's value deals. For $5.95, you can get a famous bowl and drink or a one-piece chicken box. For max value, grab a value box. That's a piece of our iconic chicken, nuggets, cheesy mashed potato, a buttery biscuit, fries, a dessert biscuit, and soda, all for just $9.95. KFC value deals have got the crunch that you're looking for. KFC knows value, and it's finger-licking good.
Struggling to find your financial rhythm? Make that move to Fidelity and let us help you orchestrate your financial goals into perfect harmony with free financial coaching sessions. Make that move today. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
Refined style with elegant taste, then fine threads is your place. If you want those slacks hemmed up, if you want to look suave and debonair everywhere you go, like you're supposed to be in a video. Want to step out and look great? Then fine threads is your place. Refined style with elegant taste, Them fine threads is your place, is your place, is your place.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty, hosted by Earl the Pearl. On Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
It's a Wednesday, so you know what I normally do on a Wednesday? I power rank. But I mean, there's 8 teams left and 10 slots. I mean, what am I going to do? The power rankings of who are the best teams in the National Football League, those days are over. Yeah. I'm turning a page.
Until next year.
I'm turning a page. It's all about page turning. You know what I mean? I'm just saying this. My power rankings and the way I traditionally do my power rankings, we're going our separate ways right now.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean?
Journey. Dang.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not firing it.
Right.
I'm not stepping down from it.
Mutually
I'm just saying
agree.
we're mutually parting ways.
Mutually agree. Yeah. Okay.
So what I have here, with 8 teams left in the National Football League playoffs to chase the Lombardi Trophy, I have power ranked the possible Super Bowl matchups in terms of the most compelling Super Bowl matchups. Hit it. Rankings. I am power ranking the possible Super Bowl matchups.
What do we got?
As you know, I go storylines, I go history, I go interest, I go eyeballs, I go narratives.
No ticket prices.
That's correct. I leave out the ticket prices, Mike.
Ratings. $35.50.
Number 10 on the list is 49ers against the Texans. Texans v. 49ers. We mentioned this to D'Amico Ryans when he joined this program just a couple weeks ago. Have you begun to even think about where the Super Bowl is being played, D'Amico Ryans? Wouldn't that be wild, D'Amico Ryans, if you took the Texans to the spot where you began your coaching career on the staff of the San Francisco 49ers? And he said, Rich, you're going to start to make me cry here, essentially. I almost, Roy Firestone on him. But that would be pretty cool. Texans versus 49ers, D'Amico Ryans versus the guy in Robert Saleh, who is now the defensive coordinator there twice over, with D'Amico Ryans having left to go coach the Houston Texans. It would be pretty cool to see that matchup. Number 9, 49ers versus the Denver Broncos. In this day and age of head coaches who also call the plays, Sean Payton and Kyle Shanahan are top 5, if not top of the list. I'm sure Sean McVay is raising his hand. You got Ben Johnson doing it now. Name others. But Sean Payton and Kyle Shanahan on the same field, dialing up plays against the other team's defenses. And then, of course, Elway's franchise against Montana and Young's franchise. Just 2 franchises that have been in the Super Bowls quite often.
A rematch of the largest Super Bowl blowout.
That's another one that I don't know if I call that a narrative, but number 8 on the list. How about Rams and Broncos? How about Sean Payton on the sideline, Sean McVay on the other sideline? 2 other top-notch play callers, as I mentioned. But the 2018 NFC Championship game, I think, would be mentioned quite a bit because we all know Sean Payton was on the Saints sideline in that NFC Championship game. The pass interference call that wasn't, we all know, still sticks in the craw of everybody in the Bayou, and also, I'm sure, Sean Payton as well. Certainly since the Rams went on to go to that Super Bowl and score only 3 points rather than Drew Brees going with the Saints to take on Tom Brady and the Patriots. That's something that I think Sean Payton would be thinking about heading to the sideline of Super Bowl 60 of Rams versus Broncos. Number 7 on my power rankings of possible Super Bowl matchups, Seahawks and Patriots. We all know,
good one,
obviously, about the Malcolm Butler moment. We'll be seeing that quite a bit. And Mike McDonald will be like, well, what are we talking about? I wasn't on the sideline. Pretty much everybody, what are we talking about? and bring that up to Vrabel, too. Vrabel will be like, well, why are we even talking about this? Because we talk about rematches and Super Bowls and things of that nature. But Sam Darnold going against the Patriots. Now, that's something That would be in terms of
Seeing
remembering
ghosts.
the past.
Seeing ghosts.
That's the moment. Sam Darnold, the Jet, winning his first Super Bowl against the Patriots would really, really stick in the craw of many, many, many in New York, New Jersey, and surrounding New York Jet areas. That would be wild. Sam Darnold wins the Super Bowl by beating the Patriots. Come on. Couldn't pull that out of your butt fumble if you tried.
Hey, now.
6 on my power rankings of most compelling Super Bowl matchups, Bears and Patriots.
There you go.
Okay, listen.
Another rematch.
How about this? In Super Bowl 60, you get a Super Bowl 20 rematch. You could actually divide the number of Super Bowls and come up with a nice number, right? 3.
Shuffle.
Of course, we all remember the fact that William the Refrigerator Perry was given the ball on the goal line, not Walter Payton. That's kind of, I can't still believe it to this point in time. But it would also be the matchup of Caleb Williams versus Drake May, the first overall pick of the 2024 draft, going against the third overall pick of the 2024 draft to win the 2025 season. I asked NFL Research, what is the record for a Super Bowl matchup between two of the highest drafted quarterbacks from the same draft class? Have we ever seen that before? And I got back an answer. Thank you, Ben McWilliams. There's only been one in which two quarterbacks from the same draft class played against each other, period. And that's Super Bowl 18, when Jim Plunkett took on Joey T, Joe Theismann. Wow. Plunkett, the first overall pick of the 1971 draft. Joe Theismann, the 99th pick of the 1971 draft. By the way, that was a fourth-round pick, number 99 overall back in the day. Oh. That's the only other time this would set a record that would only be beaten if a number 1 overall pick faces a number 2 overall pick from the same draft in the Super Bowl.
Jeez.
We've never seen it before. We may never see anything like it again if it happens.
I like that.
That's number 6 on my list. Number 5 on my list, Seahawks versus Broncos. Obviously a Super Bowl 48 rematch, something Seahawks fans would love to forget. Denver Broncos fans would love to forget. Seattle fans will never forget it. We also know back in the day, we talked about it prior to Super Bowl 48, the Seahawks spent 25 years in the AFC West. The fact that this is a Super Bowl matchup. Also, would it be the lowest scoring Super Bowl maybe in the history of the Super Bowl? With these two defenses going against each other?
What is the lowest? Patriots-Rams was 13-3.
I mean, it would be a defensive defense palooza in this Super Bowl. And then number 4 on I haven't mentioned the Bills.
Wow,
yet.
I thought that would be number 1.
No. Rams Bills. If week 14 of last season gets played in Super Bowl 60, we would not stop talking about it. Like this catch from Puka Nacua would go up there with one of the greatest catches in the history of the Super Bowl. 902 yards of combined offense happened in the 44-42 win of the Rams over the Bills last year in week 14. Josh Allen became the first player in NFL history with 3 touchdown passes and 3 touchdowns runs in the same game. He had 342 yards passing, 82 on the ground. Stafford, 320 in the air, 2 touchdowns, 1 to Nacua, who also, by the way, had his first career rushing touchdown in that game. Oh, and by the way, it was 902 combined yards between both teams with no turnovers and no sacks allowed in that game. Could you imagine if that gets played in Super Bowl 60? Number 3 on the list, Rams Patriots. If this happens, guys, it would tie Steelers versus Cowboys for the most Super Bowl matchups between the same teams ever, with 3. Super Bowls 10, 13, and 30 for Steelers Cowboys. Super Bowls 36, 53, and 60 for Rams and Patriots. We all know the first time it happened, Tom Brady sparked a dynasty. The second time it happened, Tom Brady got another win, his final one as a Patriot in the Super Bowl. And also, Julian Edelman won the MVP of that Super Bowl. Jules. Patriots would be quite something. And also a matchup of, at the time, we would know who's the MVP, who finished second, who could have the last laugh, who could say, I should have been one.
Nice.
Not you. Number 2 on the list is Bears and Bills. Could Do you imagine if this is Super Bowl 60, Bears and Bills? One, as you know, the Bears have only won once since 1985. They haven't been back in 19 years versus never won it before. Back at it for the first time since the 90s. Caleb versus Josh Allen would be quite compelling as well. My number one possible Super Bowl matchup in terms of my power rankings is Niners and Bills. One team last won it in 94, have been back. Another team, as we know, has not been back since the early 90s and have never won it. And the only reason why I choose this one is because the Niners can win it in their own building. And against a Bills team that is moving to another new building, trying to win it for the first time and the last time of their old building, and Josh Allen